Hey there my lovelies, and welcome to my BookTube channel, The Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today we are already going to talk about my March to be read. I mean, it's the middle of February right now, but I decided I would record this ahead because, quite honestly, I don't know when I will get to it. Studying keeps me pretty busy these days and my child even had holidays. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to study lately and now I have to catch up to the things I already missed. So yeah, I'm just going to record this now, hence the carnival decoration on the wall. Please ignore it. It will be gone by the time this video gets up. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to talk about my March to be read, and I put two very interesting books on there which I'm totally looking forward to read. And the first one is Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and it's written by Ashley Herring Blake. I hope I pronounced it right now. If I didn't, I'm sorry, I butchered your name, dear author. The chances the author is watching this aren't really pretty likely, but anyway, just in case, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, let's talk about Delilah Green. I've seen this book around for a very long time. A lot of people already spoke about it. It's always recommended when people talk about FF books, and I read the blurb and I am intrigued. I'm very intrigued, and I was extremely happy when I discovered this one in my library, because usually they don't have books like this, especially new books or newer books. I think it just came out in the last 2 years or so, so this is really rare. But I picked it up, I took it back home, and I want to read this one. And as for what it is about, it's basically about Delilah Green, and she is a photographer in New York City. She has a good life and a nice life. She takes home another girl each night, which is pretty interesting. She seems to be a very self-assured woman. But her stepsister is getting married. And her stepsister asks her to take the pictures for the wedding. And of course, she says yes, because, I mean, yeah, it's her sister, stepsister, or no, it's family. So they are a little bit estranged, as far as I could gather from the blurb. So that will be a little bit awkward, I guess, once she gets back to her hometown, which she turned her back to because apparently her childhood wasn't all that well. And yeah, she's not all too thrilled to go back to her hometown, but she goes there to take those pictures, and she meets her stepsister's bestie and decides to have a little bit of fun with her. And as far as I could gather, the stepsister's best friend's name is Claire Sutherland. And she is a single mom and has a lot of stress to get that wedding on track and to take care of her child. So yeah, she seems to be a pretty stressed woman. And quite honestly, if I would have to guess who is who on that cover, I would say this is Delilah and this is Claire. She just gives off those small town single mom vibes. Which is interesting. I think they could have done it a little bit less stereotypical, but okay, never mind. I'm still very much looking forward to read this book, and I only heard good things, so I'm pretty certain this will be a winner. And the next book I'm going to read, and I also borrowed it from my library, is TJ Klune's Flashfire, which is the second book in the Extraordinary series. And if you took part in my Klune along last year, you definitely read this book with me, or not this one exactly, but the first one. And I absolutely loved the Extraordinaries. It was so hilarious. I swear, I rarely read books that make me laugh, But this book, it had me gasping for air, and I just couldn't stop grinning and chuckling while I read this one. It was amazing. And if you're not familiar with The Extraordinaries, the series is basically about a boy named Nick, and Nick lives in a city with extraordinary people. There are two superheroes in his city, and I think it's called Nova City if I remember it correctly. But those two superheroes fight against each other, and well, Nikki obviously has the hots for one of them, for the hero of them, and he writes fanfic about those two. And well, because he thinks they are so amazing, he wants to become a superhero as well and wants to get superpowers. And the first book is basically Nick trying to get superpowers in the weirdest ways possible. The things he thinks up in order to get superpowers, they are just hilarious. I had such a blast with the first book, you have no idea. But yeah, if he managed to get superpowers, if he managed to end up with the superhero he was crushing on, well, you all have to read this in the first book. As for the second book, I'm so ready to dive into this and to see how the story and the plot continues, because the first book had quite an interesting, not exactly a cliffhanger, but there were some revelations, and I'm pretty certain they will be big and will be a really huge topic in this one. So yeah, I'm totally looking forward to read this book. Okay, so those are the two books I want to read in March. They are both library books, so I definitely have to read them in order to give them back in time. And well, I guess I'm already at the ending of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, the usual stuff, you know the drill. And I just wanted to use the chance to thank everyone who just recently subscribed to my channel, for all the people that subscribed 2 years ago. It's been a fun and wild ride, and I think I'm not saying thank you often enough. I should do that more often. I should thank you guys more often for actually sticking around and being on this BookTube journey with me. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to add here, because I don't say that nearly enough, and yeah, I think it needs to be said and addressed every once in a while. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you're all still healthy and safe. Take care and see you around the next time. Bye!